Witches, Celeste of the Silver Cord here, and I'm just going to be doing just a quick little reading for Taurus for the month of March, March 2020. And this is just going to be a quick look at the main energies that we're coming into. We got a lot of heavy stuff going on with the new moon and some planetary aspects that are going on. Definitely got that Mercury retrograde happening, which I always say the pre-shadow phase and the post-shadow phases are usually the worst parts, but we still have that whole period in between where it's just a lot of pressure and a lot of technological glitches and car problems and speeding tickets are a big thing that happens during Mercury retrograde. So just little things like that that causes hiccups in our lives that we end up having to deal with. It usually happens in the pre or post phases, or the pre-shadow phase is when it happens, and then you deal with it, and then the post-shadow phase is just ironing out the repercussions from whatever happened. So let's see what energies we have going on for Taurus, March 2020. I would say you guys have a lot of enlightening energy going on for you guys, because you have Uranus finally in your sign. And that's bringing a lot of new, it's like a steadfastness to what's going on, and really seeing relationships and things like that that are more long-term really for what they are and what everybody brings to the table instead of what everybody doesn't. And really shifting that perspective so that you can have better relationships with others. This is interesting. So I see hard truths coming in, or seeking knowledge behind some hard truths, or facing hard truths. But this is reversed, so it's kind of like these are the kind of things that, whereas the Hierophant's usually the seeker of truths, this is kind of hiding yourself from the truth. And it's allowing deception. And I'm seeing this kind of as a self-deception, which is leading you to believe that you've had a victory in some case. The Knight of Staffs, the High Priestess, and the Emperor. Okay, so seeking truths about a deception and seeing it really for what it is going to give you the victory to really start moving forward in your life in certain areas. This is the Knight of Staffs. This is moving forward in something that you've got passion for, and something that you're really determined and really high drive to get where you're going. And this high drive has got you feeling like you're in manifestation mode here with this High Priestess. You know, she's all about the divine feminine energy, really embracing it, and then right next to it you have the Emperor, which is really coming into your masculine energy and that kind of fire energy to really get things going for you. So you got some really good energy here coming into March, a lot that you can really grasp on. But it all seems to really pin on whether or not you are going to see certain truths and deceits for what they are. So let's see what the undercurrent for this reading is. What is the undercurrent energy for Taurus, March 2020? Three of Wands. This is really having preparation and foresight. And 3 is a team working card. So this is preparation and foresight that you have with building the relationships that are around you right now. Three of Pentacles, another teammate card. Careful who you allow in your team. Alright, yeah, so for March, definitely, there is going to be some kind of deceit that you really need to see it for what it is. You're in a lot of your own power right now with that Queen of Hearts there at the beginning, just nurturing, affectionate, loving person, and you've had to deal with a joker that took advantage of those aspects in you. Taurus is very much an earth card, and the Queen of Cups is the queen of her emotions, but she's the most nurturing one, which is more of the grounding goddess energy that goes along with your sign. So someone definitely was deceitful or will be deceitful, and it's going to be a hard truth that you're going to have to face. You will get victory over this if you choose to see it for what it truly is instead of seeing just the fantasy of it. Because you have the Four of Swords directly over your victory here. So that's, in this deck it says fallen from heaven on the card. So it's a hard truth that hurt, and you're going to need to take some time to recuperate from whatever it was. And allow yourself to have some space for yourself, and that goes along with the Nine of Swords here too. So the Nine of Swords is a lot of that could be mental self-imprisonment, and then it's followed right after the Eight of Swords, which is still a mental imprisonment, but it's a different type of imprisonment. Whereas the Nine of Swords is like an anxiety type of mental prison, a constant worry, a constant judging of yourself, a constant worry of being judged by others. Where the Eight of Swords is, okay, I see my cage for what it is. And in that ability, you have a lot of power. And that's being, not everybody is willing to just, anytime there's conflict in their life with their family, is willing to just cut tall ties and just haul ass. Not everybody has that ability. Some people put family first and stuff like that. So if this is the kind of situation that you are in, where you have this mental prison of feeling constantly judged by your family, or constantly judged in the social circle that you have, but you don't want to give up on these relationships, it is all about recognizing them for what they are. Certain people have certain triggers and stuff like that, and I know they say you shouldn't have to tiptoe around your tribe, but there is a difference between tiptoeing around your tribe and having manners. A lot of people think that not tiptoeing means that they don't have to have any type of courtesy or manners or empathy for other people. And that's really what it is. It's, you see it, like the Eight of Swords in the other decks would be someone surrounded by a circle of swords. Sometimes they're blindfolded, or they're laying on the ground surrounded by swords. But it's a matter of, it's not really hurting you. And if you can see it for what it is, especially with this deck, it's about taking power over it. Okay, well, I'll put it in my perspective as a single mother. This is my insane asylum and those are my inmates. Well, as long as I know that, I can control the situation. I can pay more attention to the things that so-called most people would feel trapped by. Instead, you can see it for what it is and have some gratitude that you have these people in your life, and gratitude that, you know, you're a part of their path. And if certain things trigger them, or upset them in certain ways, yes, it's our responsibility as being loving and empathic of being conscious of it. It's not excusing bad behavior, but it's being conscious of where their bad behavior comes from and not taking it personally. I think that's the biggest thing. It's don't take it personally. If you're going to remain in these circles that have the toxic person in them that you can't stand, or family functions that, you always end up feeling judged by someone or something along those lines, this is going to be a matter of you just changing the perspective of really realizing that that has really nothing to do with you. They judge you because they judge themselves. And don't take their kind of judgment personally, and don't let it ruin your relationship with others by worrying about this person's judgment. Like I said, there was some deceit. There is a game player. There is someone who creates drama. And it's just a matter of, can you stop taking it personally? Alright, so we got the meadow of vulnerability. How fitting for the bull to be in the meadow, right? And this is about allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Don't walk into these situations with your defenses up, ready to lash out and snap at the first person who says something you don't like, or allow this person, for some reason, you allow their judgments on you to really bother you. This is about allowing yourself to being open to looking at it from a new perspective, to really gain that they're not criticizing me to judge me. They're trying to give constructive criticism to help me. Or if it's someone who just creates drama and likes to twist things up, recognize that that's what they're doing, and it's really just a pathetic feature within themselves that they are desperately trying to hide by creating drama around you. And as will continue as long as you feed it, but if you don't feed it and just allow yourself to be a little vulnerable and allow yourself to not take those judgments and those criticisms to heart as a personal attack, because that is not what they are. Yeah, I don't know why the phrase Joe Dirt came up. Is life is a garden, dig it. Learn how to relax. When you find yourself in those situations where you feel really judged and stuff like that, find a way to really quiet your mind and bring yourself to a place like, a meadow or something along those places where you can really ground yourself. Don't be afraid to step outside and recenter yourself before you make, before you turn into the bull in the china shop at the family, get together and busting everybody out on their bullshit when everybody already knows everybody's bullshit in these kind of circles. Whether it's a work circle, whether it's a, school circle, whether it's a family circle, everybody already knows everybody else's bullshit, so there's really no sense in dragging that up all the time. Just allow things to kind of roll by and let just the ebb and flow of it go. And focus on those connections that are important to you and those family connections that you are trying to save, and just understand that you don't have to allow that toxic connection to be a part of your connection, but you need to accept that it's part of theirs. And if you can recognize where the swords are, then you are more in control of the situation than you realize. Alright, Taurus, if you liked that, please like, share, subscribe, spank the bell to get more notification. I'll leave a link below to follow us on Facebook, and I will talk to you guys later. Blessed be all those who walk those paths with me.